Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? It's your host, Silas, aka Saikage, and I'm here to deliver to you information relative to the title of the video. So, some wonder, hey, what's the title of the video? For those who somehow blindly clicked here, I'm going to teach you how to get better at Call of Duty today. So, more specifically, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. To no one's surprise, from anyone who's actually played the game, this Call of Duty is quite different from the traditional titles we had in the past. This game strays away from typical map design. You won't really see your 3 lanes, and if you do see your 3 lanes, they're jumbled by lots of different routes in between them. So I guess before in Call of Duty, you could just focus on your 1 lane and not really worry about anything else. In this one, there's lines of sight everywhere, and you're really forced to play the game differently than you may be comfortable with, which was my case. Little backstory behind me, tell you a little bit about me. I've always been a minimum of a 3 KD player in Call of Duty. I've just, since I was 16 years old, is when I really started taking games seriously. I really excelled at first-person shooters, and I've always just been, having a 3 KD has always just been comfortable. Like, that's what was comfortable for me. And my play style to achieve that 3 KD was hyper aggressive, kill you before you even know what was going on, jump shots, slide, beat you with movement, and just aim. And unfortunately, in this game, it's not that easy. The way this game is designed, you're really honestly forced to find a power position, trap it up with claymores, and just camp. And not so much let me stare at one door this entire time and not move at all. That's not what I mean. You'll get 1 kill. That's not what I mean. That's not the kind of camp I mean. I guess my version of camping would be lock down a building, move throughout the building, and really just let the enemies come to you. And when they run around the corner, you shoot them, because the fact of the matter is, you're at an extreme disadvantage sprinting in this game. And as dumb as that sounds, it's totally true. You can't sprint. Your footsteps are way too loud. The enemies will definitely hear you. And it's weird. It's so weird and so silly to say, but you're at a disadvantage moving in this game. So I tried to play this Call of Duty like every other Call of Duty I played. Hyper aggressive, run it down mid. Let's just shoot people as they pop up in front of me. I attempted that method, and it brought me to a 1.55 KD, which for me personally, in a Call of Duty, is absolutely horrible. And I was just like, I feel like a filthy casual. And I mean, that's just personally how I felt on it. Maybe 1.55 is good for other players, and I'd never want to discourage anyone like that. But just for me personally, I was like, this isn't it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to adapt. And that's what I did, and which is what you can see me do in this gameplay behind you. My KD is steadily rising ever since I decided to play this way, and which is not as fun. I'll be honest with you, it's not as fun. But sometimes you just have to adapt to stay competitive, which is what I'm choosing to do. Don't get me wrong, you can still find success somewhat rushing, but nowhere near the amount you'll find just holding down a power position and killing people as they run into you. So I guess you're wondering, how do I effectively hold down a power position and get these good gameplays like you're seeing in the background? So there's a few essentials. I guess you could say step one, it's definitely about your weapons. You can see in this gameplay, I'm using the MP5. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, you should probably just run an AR. Like, run the M8 or run the Kilo. The Kilo is really good. It's honestly the weapon I run. But assault rifles are just better. It's definitely an assault rifle meta. I've been a sub player my whole life, so I stuck with the submachine gun. And some other weapons you could consider using is the PKM. I messed around with that a little bit, and it's an absolute laser beam. It arguably could be better than some of the ARs, but odds are you're going to want an assault rifle or a PKM, light machine gun. The next thing is it's it's weird. I would have never ran overkill in any other Call of Duty, but you're gonna want to have overkill in your secondary. You're gonna want that 7.25 shotgun. It's just too good. You can even see in this gameplay, like, people will have me at one shot, and if I had my MP5 in my hand, I can shoot one bullet maybe, and I'll be dead. But because I got the 7.25 in my hand, they can have me on one shot, and I can just 180 flick, one shot them, just one pump, and it's a game changer. The range on it is ridiculous. So yeah, honestly, I think meta is run overkill with the 7.25 secondary. The next thing for your perk 2 is you're going to want to run restock. I was running Ghost for the longest time, but really, Ghost is, I don't know, no one really uses the minimap, to be completely honest with you. And because I know I'm a good player, I would almost rather want people to come to and try and kill me, because I'm confident enough to beat them. So when they see me on the minimap, maybe they do make their way over to me, and because I'm in a power position and I know I got my building trapped up with claymores, it kind of almost helps me that they have a UAV. So you run restock, and you ask, what does restock do? Restock recharges your equipment every 30 seconds. So when you pair that with claymores, you get a new claymore every 30 seconds, which allows you to always feel safe. Also, if you didn't know, your claymores do stack on top of each other. So I've only ever had 2, but you can have 2 of your own claymores down, and it's not like if you're gonna put one down, the other one disappears. The next thing for my perk 3, I run tune-up, because it reduces the charge time of your field upgrade by 33%. The field upgrade I run is Dead Silence, because when I am in Dead Silence, I feel like I'm playing an old Call of Duty almost, and I can just run and go ham, and no one can hear me, and I'm just gonna shoot people. Honestly, the only time I feel safe moving is when I have Dead Silence. So getting that fast is always good. So now that you have your AR or light machine gun, your class setup, your claymores, now what? Basically, you just need to go and find a power position. What is a power position? A power position is usually a building where you have a line of sight on a lane of the enemy. So ideally, you'll just pre-aim your gun at this lane, and the enemies will funnel into you to make for easy kills. In this gameplay, you do actually see me move around quite a bit, but you'll also notice when I do find myself in a power position, I stick there, and I capitalize being in the situation that I'm in. And then when I realize, hey, the enemy is kind of onto me, I'll pop my dead silence and I'll move to a different power position. You'll also notice here, I just abuse how dominant the 7.25 shotgun is. It's really, it's honestly unbalanced. It's gonna get patched soon, I guarantee it. Um, but I hope that you learned something from watching this video. The unfortunate truth is this game forces you to play a certain way you might be uncomfortable with, but you can and definitely will find success. Unfortunately adapting to the meta. In this gameplay, you still do see me move around, and you still can, but it's not the same. Anyway, I'm out. Deuces.